Welcome to Flosstube number 239. This is a video about counting cross stitch. Oh my goodness. And poor Striker, he almost bit the dust there for a minute. This is Striker, one of my Scotties, and my name is Dottie. And just welcome. I think I said today's November 15th. I'm really not sure. But anyway, we just would like for you to, we have some fully finished objects. I have a past fully finished object. I've got some stitch alongs that we can start that are coming up. I've also got a featured Etsy shop, and it's a little bit different from what the rest of them are because it's kind of like a Chantel 141 or Paisley and Polka Dots. And she's got like a different, I showed like a different take on some of her things. And we went last night to a paint party that she had because she shows you how to paint and everything. And it was really fun. So we'll talk about that later. I'll get the giveaways mailed out this week. As long as you've emailed me. I hadn't had time to check. I had to work a lot this week. And yeah, time was very limited. And then I had some wonderful company. That was great. So, and we've got a free pattern. So we've got some works in progress and we've got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. We have to earn our treat today. This is Winston, very reluctant Winston. He's my other Scotty. So here, Winston, here you go. Yes, Striker did get his treats for those of you that, you know, are worried about that. Today they're having sweet potato and duck or something, I think, and they like it. So, but we don't have any real ducks. Okay, well, my first past FFO, and the only one I'm showing today, is a Just Nan, and it's done on 32 count, kind of a taupe linen. And the little frame has little acorns on it, and I tied a little jute bow around it. And isn't that cute? And it says autumn. So I wanted the rest of the series, but this was very limited, and I didn't get them. This is way back when. She even included the velvet for the back. Wasn't that nice? So that was good, but autumn's the only one I've got. Okay, now let's talk about past fully finished objects, or FFOs. The first one I have is an oldie but a goodie, and it's been laying around since like the end of July when I finished it. I swore up and down I was going to get it finished before I went to StitchCon, and I did not. But this is Matilda Drives the Stitchy Bus by Finally a Farm Girl, Chrissy. I thought this was just the cutest pattern. So what I did was I stitched the large one on 28 count. And this is my little pillow. Isn't that cute? She's so adorable. Just look at that. There's a little mouse on the mirror hanging on. And I did ride the Stitchy Bus one year when I went up there. But it was a lot of fun. And I'm using 2 strands over 2. And I just picked a piece of material that matched out of my stash. So cute. So this will be going in my summer display. I'm getting an early start on that. Okay. Then the next one I did was, and I don't have the pattern for this one. It's been laying around a long time because I got this one at the Dying to Stitch retreat several years ago when Brenda Gervais was there doing In the Light of Winter. And she gave us this one on Friday night. And it's called Autumn Splendor. I know Roberta from the Sable Stitchers she's also finished it, and she was wondering how to finish it. And I had already sewed it up into a pillow. I just hadn't stuffed it. And this was a pillow because I tried every piece that I owned that even went close to it, and nothing seemed to do. But this is on 36 count, maybe, or maybe 40 count. No, I think it's 36 count. There's some Smyrna stitches in the wing, and then there's some cross stitches. And that's my finish. And I found this piece of fabric, this oldie but a goodie from a quilt I did a long time ago. It was Thimbleberry's fabric, to tell you how old it is. And I was like, oh, this will be perfect. So there you go. And I stuffed it with polyfill. And I used 1 strand over 2 threads, all the call for threads. Okay, the next one, my pattern, my finishes have gotten way far away. This was a PDF, and my printer was not doing too good. This is called Red, White, and Spools by Primrose Cottage. And they used color and cotton. Well, I didn't have any color and cotton, but when I went to StitchCon, I got some Rami's Creations floss in an auction, and I used Garnet, Antiquities, and Stacy Blue and White B5200 on this. And this is on a piece of fabric flare, and it's probably 28 count. And I had some fabric in my stash, and this is what I did to finish it. I used 2 strands over 2 threads, and that's what I did for the back. And I stuffed it with polyfill. I have walnut shells, but they're messy, and I just didn't want to make a mess to have to clean up. Isn't that terrible? Okay, and then last but not least, I was a busy seamstress. I had a free day off this week because the lady, she was supposed to show up for, anyway, my coworker had some other obligations, and she just showed up to work. So I took a few hours off, and I was really thankful. So I thought, I'll sew. So this is No Tricks, Just Treats from Primrose Cottage. And this was in one of their stitchy boxes. It was fun. I think it was last year's stitchy box. And I did not buy their kit because I have lots of Halloween fabric. And I found this spider fabric, and I thought, oh, this is just perfect. And it makes the black and the orange just pop. But, this is on a piece of 32 count. I think it's Stormy Night, maybe. Yep. And I'm using 2 threads over 2. And it's all DMC. And I used all the call for colors. Isn't that cute? And the back, I had this. And I just thought, oh, this is just cute. So I had to put that little whimsical fabric on the back. So that's my finish on that. So that's my 4 FFOs. So that brings me to a total of 39 fully finished objects, if you don't count the 8 other pillows I did for Swindon. If you count those, I have 57 finishes this year. And hopefully at the end of this year, I'll do a finish parade. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But that does for the hashtag FFO Challenge 2025. And I forgot to mention it. Oh, my goodness. And that one's with Jen Quilter. You need to tag her, and also Penny's Daughter Shares. So, and I will link that below. And this one is one of my 4 that I finished for the hashtag 13 for 250 sale, with Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher, my friend, and Stitcher with a Laughing Face. So if you haven't watched any of their videos, you need to. Jen's is Two Tall Stitchers with her mom, Carol, and they're really good. And Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher, bless her, she just decided she was going to fight with her rotary cutter, and it won. But she got fixed up, and I think she's doing really good now. And then you got to be careful with those rotary cutters. And then Stitcher with a Laughing Face, she has some good items to see too. So you need to watch that. Okay, and so here's my little flag that I printed out, and it was when my printer was dead. So far, I finished Sam by Shepherd's Bush, Lady Liberty Needlebook by Chessie and Me, Red, White, and Spools, Primrose Cottage Stitches, and the USA Established 1776 by Primrose Cottage Stitches. So I've got a few to go. And let's see, it's December. I've only got 7 months, and I need 9 more. So I need to get myself busy and do some things. Okay, and my book of days, I forgot to show that. I don't think I put any more stickers in. I'm not sure. I may have. But anyway, this is what I've got. And I've only had one new start this month. And I've had one finish, and no, two finishes, and I've had 4 fully finished objects. And I've been to 3 stitch-ins and a paint party. Wow. Okay, no retreats. Yeah. But the rest of the year, there's no retreats unless, you know, I lose my mind and a miracle happens. So who knows? Okay, let's talk about our featured Etsy shop. Our featured Etsy shop is Polly's Designs and Gifts. And she was the lady that I can't even talk. We went to her paint party last night. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can paint, but, you know, I'm not that good. But look what I painted. This is Joy. And I just thought this was just so beautiful. I'm probably going to have to fight for this to keep it, because I'm sure my children will go, "Oh, Mom, I really like this. Make me one." I mean, it wasn't hard. Anybody could do it. And it's just a lot of fun. And this is in her Etsy shop. And Polly is great. She shows how to finish it. But isn't that just beautiful? And I'm going to insert some pictures here, because also with me, I caught up with Dolores for a hot minute. She's got company today, so she couldn't come and do a video with me. And then Carson was with me, and also Crystal Rowe. She's a Flosstuber. She's not put out a Flosstube in a while, but go back and watch some of hers. They're really good. Then Olivia, Southern Yankee Stitcher, she was here and she was just great. And and Carson brought her mom. And then, of course, you know, like I said, and Diana was also with us, and she had already painted things like this before, so she knew what to expect. We all had so much fun, and I'm going to insert some pictures here. Weren't those just beautiful? All right, next we're going to talk about our free pattern. Our free pattern is a stitch along this year, or this month. Oh, good grief. And she has a Facebook group. It's called Cross Stitch Patterns on the Web. And you join the Facebook group, and she just puts out the mini Noel sampler. And I know a lot of you say it's part 1 of 3 parts, and it's beautiful. And I know a lot of you say, "Well, I don't have Facebook. I don't have Facebook." Well, why don't you, just make up a name and just join groups and don't do anything else, and just save it just for cross stitch. Because I get more stuff that's strange on Instagram than I do on Facebook, because I'm real picky about who I let, be friends and stuff. And I only talk about stitching, no politics, no news, no nothing. I'm in my own happy little world, and I'm happy with it. But anyway, that's an idea so you can get the pattern. But you miss a lot of good things in the Facebook groups. I mean, they've got some super, super stitching groups. There's places you can go in there to buy fabric because they have fabric sales. Lots and lots of free patterns and things. And you find out about different retreats. So it's really, you know, good. I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, but, you know, sometimes it's a necessary evil. But anyway, moving right along, I will insert the picture of the free pattern here. I thought it was so cute. And you don't have to stitch it on black. You can stitch it on any color you want to. I thought it would look nice like on a light green or maybe even a light blue. You know, stormy night. Even like a tan. I thought it would look good on that. So, and you know, if there's a color that blends in, just change it to another color. Okay, so I want to see some pictures from that and some of the other things. So there's 2 other stitch-alongs, and one of them starts today, and it's called #Reason for the Season Sale. And it's put on by Java Girl Stitches and Anna Wrote 61, and I will also link that below. And I'm going to insert a picture here because she has the cutest little advertisement for it on Instagram. And if you're not friends with them or if you don't watch Java Girl Stitches, you are missing some cute finishing tips. Her expertise is in finishing. And Anna comes with her sometimes to do videos. She's about like Dolores. She shows up here and there, you know, when you catch up with them. But, I mean, they have some beautiful finishes. And I mean, Christy, her stuff, she just stitches 90 miles an hour because she gets stuff done. And it's just so pretty. And she ties the cutest bows. And I mean, she's a good color matcher, and she goes to Target and finds all these good deals and stuff. And I go to my Target, and it's like, yeah. But anyway, #Reason for the Season Sale. So you're supposed to stitch on a nativity or, you know, something Christian related for Christmas. I think that's the way it goes. All right, then the other stitch along starts on December the 24th, Christmas Eve. And it's with Linda and Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl. And they also have a Flosstube. And they want you to start and stitch on any Santa. So it could be a Prairie Schooler Santa. It could be, you know, something you see in Stony Creek. It could be something you found in the Just Cross Stitch magazine that just came out. The Christmas issue, which is just awesome. They've got some cute things. I love this one. I think this one's gorgeous. I mean, in my opinion, this is the best issue they've ever had. And they also have some big things because this is not an ornament. It's big. And if you don't have one, you need to get one. But I subscribe, and they send me this with my subscription. And it's a lot cheaper if you subscribe. So you need to get one. And I'm not going to show you what's inside because, hey, you need to like get one and find it out. Or you can find it on Readly, which is, it's an app, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, it's an app and you join it. And I think for $12.99 a month, you can get all kinds of magazines. And they're all digital. And that way, if you want to stitch something, you just go in the magazine and there's past issues and everything. And it's even got like People magazine, you know, just hunting magazines, golfing magazines, scrapbooking magazines, just anything that you can think of. The only one it doesn't have is Primitive Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching. That's the best magazine. Okay, now, what are my plans? Oh, before I do that, I'm going to insert a picture here of the little advertisement for Any Santa Sal that Linda and Chrissy are doing. And you need to tag them also. Okay? And you know, I almost forgot to show my whips or my works in progress. I'm telling you, I don't know. I tell you, maybe I smelled too much paint last night or something. I don't know. Okay, the first one I want to show that I've worked on is called We Santa 2023. And I think I started it in 2023. And I do a little bit and then I toss it, you know. And I think what the problem was is I don't like the fabric. But I'm not one to waste fabric. And I'm going to stitch on anything. And this is going to be done. It really will. Now, I stitched on this at work. And this is in my Teresa Kogut bag. And I cannot remember who gave me this bag, but I'm telling you, it is the cutest, cutest bag. And all I have to say is thank you, thank you. Plus, it has a thread bed, which I have my messy thread on it. Oh, wait a minute. It's Grandma's Treasures. That's who made this bag. But that's not who gave it to me. But anyway, it's a pretty bag. So this is on 32 count. That looks like it's been shrunk. And I'm using 2 strands over 2. I could probably got by with 1, but it's real bright. You can't hardly see what I've stitched, but Santa now has a head, but he only has a beard. And I've started on his face, and that was all I got done at work. So, and there's a part of a flower by his leg. So, and I'm using the 2 strands of all the call for threads, I think. And I don't know, this fabric was just in my stash. It's some kind of even weave. Don't like it. And I'm using all Classic Colorworks except for, no, I actually bought these at Hobby House. I do remember that when I was there. But they call for this to be done on lamb's wool and linen, and I just didn't have that. So, but he's going to be so cute when I get him done. So, and this month that's part of my Whip Go, which is another stitch along kind of thing, but it's an ongoing thing to finish your works in progress. And Jessie Marie Does Stuff is the one that she oversees that. And every month on the 25th, she puts out the 2 new numbers. Now, we already know what next month is going to be because it's the end of the year. And, well, there you go. But this month, I have to stitch on Blackbird and Christmas. And I've been doing pretty good because look how full my board is. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one of them is my free space, which I'm not doing anything for my free space because I was kind of laid back this year. And mine was really kind of like this month, any Blackbird, you know, it can be Christmas, it can be not Christmas, and like any Christmas project. So the We Santa counted. And then I also stitched on, well, I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, I also stitched on I cannot talk today. Scottish Castle Etude by Cece Bailey Smith of Gentle Pursuits Designs. You know, the one I stitched, the class I took at Swindon at Nicola Parkman's Academy of Needlework. And that's all of it. I finally started on this top piece because I'm going to do this top here. And then I'll go down and do windows probably. And I'm on the roof, page 2 of 30. And my friends are going like, when are you going to get that finished? In this lifetime? Probably not. But it's so pretty. And this is on, dang, what did I do it on? 40 count. And it's, my little project card. It's on Cedar River linen, 40 count, overcast. And I'm using DMCs, and I've changed some of them. I've not changed anything yet, but there will be changes because I did not want pink and blue. I want my Scottish family tartan, which is red and green. Yes. And so I stitched the nun stitch down through here, which took a whole long time. And then the chimney and the roof. And that's all I've got done. Yeah, it's going to be a while. Yeah, but it's one strand over 2 threads. And the nun stitch, each nun stitch that you do takes 4. It's like 4 stitches that you have to do, but it's like doing 2 cross stitches. So it takes a little bit longer, and it's also finicky, and I can only work on it during the day because the floss is the same color as my fabric. But that's so you can't see it when you join everything up. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. All right. Next, I had, oh yeah. Oh, where did it go? Hold that thought. Okay, I'm back. These, when you put your PDFs in, like the little sleeves, plastic sleeves, they get a little slick. This is Ginger by Stacy Nash, and it's from the Jingle Ball. I didn't get the kit. I just signed up for the class because I think she's so cute. This is my first animal cracker. Yay! And I'm using all the call for threads except for the parchment. I just had to stick a DMC in there. Oh, wait. No, I lied. And, oh, there's another one. Anyway, there's a couple that I'm having to use the DMCs because I just didn't have the Weeks Dye Works, and the shop didn't have them either that I went to. Well, there were 2 shops I went to that didn't have them. The fabric, though, I got when I was in England at the Swindon Retreat at Nicola Parkman, and it's Swan Bay linens. And it's called Barton Clay, and this is 36 count, which is what it's called for. And, or is it? Yep, it is. And this is what I've got done. I got the little head done, and I started on the little scarf, little kerchief thing. Yeah. And that's it. I did that at the sit and stitch yesterday, and I only got to stay an hour or so. So that's why I didn't get much done. And then, of course, I had to hop up and down and get something to drink, and you know how that goes. And then you got to talk and just cut up and stuff and have a good time. And we did. We had a wonderful time. And we planned a Christmas party. We're so excited. And nobody at my stitch group had real homemade Russian tea. They had that nasty tang stuff. And I said, oh, I'll be bringing you some of that. So that's what started us having a Christmas party, because we figured we better not take food and drink into Ingles because they might not appreciate it. Yeah. Because we don't want to get kicked out of there. You know, we've already had to go from one place to another, and yeah, that's not good. Okay, and my last piece I stitched on for the, oh, and before I start that though, there is a stitch along that's to do with the Jingle Ball, about stitching previous Jingle Ball pieces. And I'm participating in it, but I can't remember the name of it. And I tried to look it up, and I didn't see that either. So I was like, shoot. So anyway, if I find it, I will link it below. If not, I will try my best to have it next week. Because, you know, the Jingle Ball's coming up in a couple of weeks. Yay! All right. And the last piece I stitched on this week, because like I said, I didn't have a lot of time, was called Jingle Around the Block. And it's by Kathy Haberman with Hands On Design. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. And I'm stitching this on white, 32 count. And I got Mrs. Santa stitched. And I started the word bells, and I got the word jingle. And then all I got to do is finish the word bells and then put like a line through jingle, and then stitch the block, the back stitch all the way around this whole entire piece. You see the line like I'm talking about. There'll be one like that over here. And then I got to stitch the top, and then it'll be ready to put together. And hopefully I'll have it done before the Jingle Ball. It would be nice, because I would love to have this finished. I at least want to get this finished before Christmas. Yeah. So, and I used all the call for threads. I did not buy the kit for that. I just bought the pins and Yeah, I just bought the pins, and that's it, because I had felt and everything, wool felt. So, but that's my stitching for this week. Yeah. And hopefully what I'll do next week, I'll work on my Blackbird. I'll work some more on the Jingle Bells and Ginger. And I need to hurry up and get Ginger finished, because I have a Santa Claus from Kathy Haberman I need to hurry up and stitch for Jingle Ball. And I also have the Gingerbread Man that I need to hurry up and stitch for the Jingle Ball. And, you know, I still don't have the Gingerbread House stitch from last year. It's still in timeout. It's been in timeout for almost a year. And then I want to fully finish a couple more objects, because when I was looking for things, I found like 5 or 6 things, of which some I finished now, that I was like, oh, I forgot about this. And one of them is my hands-on design piece from last year that I stitched, but I have not fully finished it. So it needs to be fully finished. It's still on my ironing board. Yeah. It didn't even make it to the stitch box. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully I'll get that done. And I just thank you all for tuning in. And I do apologize that Dolores isn't with us. She will not be with us next week. They have a family wedding. The next week, you know, is Thanksgiving, and it's Black Friday. So I'm not sure if I'll have a video then or not, because I think I'll have a house full of company, you know, family. So there will be a video next week, because I'll be here. But we won't see Dolores for about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. So she's on the go again. So I do miss her, you know, and I know y'all, you know, comment, where's Dolores? So, and she misses, you know, showing her beautiful things. She's really been, well, I would say she's really been stitching, but I kept taking pictures of her empty chair. And we time her now to see how long she can sit in her chair and stitch. But the same is said about me. It is. So Dolores and I, you know, we have a lot in common. But until next week, happy stitching. And if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And yet again, thank you so, so much to all our servicemen and women that have served, you know, so we can live in the home of the free, in the land of the brave. Thank you so much. And remember, if you don't start it, you can't finish it. Bye-bye.